I wrote this and I would really like to share because I find it very interesting. It just flew out of me. I had to write it down. I didn't even have to think much. It just kept coming out. There is violence contained in our food. Such a strange and unfamiliar idea. In fact, most people aren't aware of it. We weren't raised and made aware of this fact. We are so detached from the fact that our food is killed used to be alive animals. Yes, we all are intellectually aware of this, but empirically we aren't. When we experience our food, we don't experience the animals. When we experience the animals, we don't experience them as food or to be made to be our food. We distanced ourselves from the animals in their deaths. We compartmentalized our society, and so only a very small amount of people are required to ever face the trauma of all the killing of the alive animals. In fact, they further compartmentalized our process too, so that even less people need to directly face this trauma every day. They use machines. Our animals are separated by and from us and raised within unseen, dark, concrete corners of the world. Far from everyone's sight, everyone's knowledge, and even everyone's imagination. The murdering process has successfully been removed from our cognition of our food. Meat is food. Animals are animals. They aren't related. At least, that's no longer our experience. The cute videos of all sorts of animals we occasionally see and adore online aren't really the food that we are served with at dinner. They look completely different. They feel completely different. They even belong to completely different categories in our knowledge system. The cold pieces of very well packaged meats can't possibly be the warm, fluffy, intelligent, alive animals with feelings, their own parents and siblings, and even their own individual preferences, so that even we might have evolved enormously in the past thousands of years in areas of understanding, respect, and compassion, we can still consume at perfect peace enormously larger amounts of meat without any slice of guilt. We have got so well at murdering our animals that we don't need to do it ourselves anymore. They are murdered for us, or better, they are murdered every single day, no matter we want it or not. So why don't we just keep on eating the meat, since me stopping eating it wouldn't keep a single animal from being killed anyways, since they aren't killed just for me now anymore, after all. But violence doesn't vanish just because it is unseen. Violence, fear, trauma, pain, anger get all stored, deeply ingrained, imprinted inside the bodies the moment they got killed. Violence, fear, trauma, pain, and anger then get to be sliced into small pieces and packaged, purchased, and cooked and delivered into our plates at dinner and swallowed into our bodies and absorbed into our insides, blood, and bones. We become heavy, as these energies are like lead poured into our lives. It's hard not to have heavy lives given what we consume as our food. This heaviness feeds into the heaviness already existing in us. which originally caused this industry of violence to exist from the start. An unseen, unknown, unbelieved vicious circle. We are kind souls. We desire love and we desire to love. That's in fact all we have ever wanted and all that we have ever lived for, all of us. This fact, though, is also unseen, unknown, and unbelieved. As we certainly desire love and to love, but can't possibly every single person in this world. That's just not possible. We do. They don't. They are the ones that rule our countries, murder our people, exploit our minds, and after all, they are the ones that kill our animals and force us to eat them. Since me eating meat or not no longer makes any difference anymore. It's them that want the money, the benefit, the interest, and if there is really any murdering out there going on, I am hardly involved. There is nothing I can do. Therefore, we are all equally responsible, not just for the large-scale events of violence in this world, but for every single event of violence happening anywhere in this world. It's not that they are murderers and we are the saints, since we did not start a war after all. We didn't pull out a knife and kill. We didn't take a gun and shoot. We are just ordinary people on our way going to get exploited at work that we don't even like. We are forced, just like the animals. We are distanced, just like the animals. We are not involved, just like the animals. So we must be the innocent saints in this crazy world, just like the animals. So when the wars happened, we had the right to be sitting at home or marching down the road, cursing the ones that pulled the triggers. We did not do it after all. We did not want it above all. The wars happened against my personal will. That is for sure. I can be responsible. I am hardly ever included in the list of the probable people that are even slightly, possibly responsible for the happening of any wars. I am not responsible. I can be responsible. They are responsible, not me, not at all. Then why are you hardly ever happy? My dear saint, why aren't you celebrating your innocence and the pure joy that you deserve as a saint? You are the saint after all. Because they exist. They rule my countries, exploit my minds, and start the wars. I can be happy as long as they are still here. I am a saint, therefore I am not happy. They are the happy ones. What if you are them? What if they aren't really outside of you? What if then they aren't really any different from you at all? And that can be possible. That's outrageously impossible. It makes zero sense, based on no logic. Absurd and not understandable. I reject to even put that thought into any consideration. In fact, I reject to even put that thought into my sane mind at all. Don't you ever insist that again. Impose that idea onto me. Knock on my door just to tell me that horse shit. I will have to insult you, curse you, fight you, and send you to be killed. Just what I'd do to those ruling the countries, as insane as you. Just what I'd do to those that invade my countries, as cruel as you. Just what I'd do to those that stepped on my feet this morning on the subway without apologizing, as stupid as you. Just what I'd do to my bosses, exploiting my body, mind, and soul, as death-deserving as you. Now I understand. You are one of them, and you should be annihilated just like them. All of them.